Are the Lakers close to the Rockets now?
I think they're closer. I think the Rockets need to get their hands on somebody like Carmelo Anthony. I think if the Rockets don't find a way to replace what Trevor Ariza gave them, they're going to suffer because of it. They're still going to be a good team. They're still going to make the playoffs. They're still going to be one of the top 3 or 4 teams within the Western Conference. But when we talk about their formidability, you've got to make up for the loss of Trevor Ariza. Now, Carmelo Anthony is not going to do that on the defensive end, but he should be able to do that on the offensive end. And his potency as an offensive player with the right personnel and playing the right position as opposed to playing out of position and looking out of sync, I definitely think bodes well for the Houston Rockets. You have to make up for the loss of Trevor Ariza. We can't sit here and act like losing Trevor Ariza is no big deal. It's a very big deal. You had to lose him to take care of CP3. You had to lose him to take care of Clint Capella. But make no mistake, you've taken a step back unless you offset the loss of Trevor Ariza. And if you've taken a step back with the Lakers having arrived and taking a step forward, I definitely think that puts them in a closer position to compete with the Houston Rockets if you don't replace Trevor Ariza. I definitely believe that.
Well, of course they're closer. They got LeBron James, but they are not close to the Houston Rockets yet. Not really close, not actually. Now, we'll see, they get Kawhi Leonard, we'll reevaluate. Even if the Lakers, I see it differently. If the Lakers get Carmelo, I think Carmelo would work well with LeBron. I do not see him as a fit in Houston. In fact, I would think he might make the Houston Rockets worse, not better. Recall when the Oklahoma City Thunder got Carmelo, I wasn't so sure that it definitely made them the best matchup for the Warriors. I wasn't sure they were better than the Rockets, and in fact, they weren't nearly as good as the Rockets. The Rockets were way better than them, and partly that was Carmelo not having a very good effect on that team. So Carmelo at this point in his career, especially the way the league has changed, it depends where he fits in. If he goes to the Lakers, maybe they've caught up to the Rockets a little bit more because especially in the playoffs, the Rockets will have a better regular season record, but we'll see what happens playoff time. But I don't see how he replaces Trevor Ariza on that team. He's the opposite of really a 3-and-D guy, which is really what Trevor Ariza is. He's the poster child for that nowadays. The point is this about the Rockets. They missed their window, in my opinion. I thought that going into the playoffs, they were going to unseat the Warriors. And I think events proved me right because Chris Paul gets hurt, is not available in Game 7, and without one of their 2 best players, not there, their emotional leader, and having one of the worst shooting nights in the history of basketball from outside, and what they do is shoot from the outside, they still only lost by single digits. To me, it is clear, had Chris Paul played for the Rockets that game, the Rockets beat the Warriors. But I think that's it. That was their opportunity. The Warriors are even more experienced now. They're feeling themselves more. They've shown the ability to turn it on, at least in the finals, where they swept the Cavs. They even against the Rockets, took advantage of opportunities. And now they've added a guy who, in Boogie Cousins, if he can just get healthy before the playoffs start, get his basketball legs under him, they're going to be impossible on offense. Impossible. Meantime, the Rockets lose Trevor Ariza. You're right, Stephen A. They still have to retain Clint Capella, and they're not going to have the resources left to get any other 3-and-D guy who fits in the way Trevor Ariza did. I think the Rockets' opportunity was last postseason. I picked them to win. I thought I was actually proven right by events. They got very unlucky. But unless, barring some unforeseen move by Houston, and I don't think it's Carmelo Anthony, I think that ship has sailed.
Well, I think that a lot of people have ignored what they saw from the Golden State Warriors in these playoffs. There was some vulnerability there. And I think that obviously we think that DeMarcus Cousins offsets that with his arrival. Could happen, but we don't know that to be the case yet. Draymond Green has got to improve on his jump shot, obviously. Kevin Durant and those guys got to continue to remain in sync. You hear some rumblings every now and then about, everything is cool, and then another minute you hear things are not so cool. Obviously, when I look at the Houston Rockets and how the Houston Rockets got all up in the Golden State Warriors, just all up in their chest, that resonated with me because that showed a recipe for their discomfort. The fact that you can make them a bit uncomfortable. You can make them press a little bit. So I think all of those things are things to consider when you look at the Lakers, you look at the Rockets, and you look at other teams, particularly with LeBron in L.A. right now, because I don't think moves have stopped being made, and I think other things are going to happen within the conference because people have noticed those very vulnerabilities that I just alluded to.
Yeah, but ultimately, you're still saying that Houston has the edge. Obviously, just that the Lakers are coming. It's getting
The
closer.
Lakers are coming.
Of course.
The Lakers are coming.